All right, we just started it. So it goes right along with our word today, okay? So happy Wednesday. Hope everybody's having a great day out there. Sorry again for the technical little glitch, but not so sure what that was about. But Coach?
Yes, before Coach gets started, I need for everybody, don't leave the screen, but if you're in reaching distance and have a rubber band, I want you to grab a rubber band. Okay, back at you, Coach.
That's good. That's good. She knows where I'm going. So give you just a second if you've got a rubber band. So our word for today is complain. Could not hit me at a better time because this morning I wanted to complain about technology and things like that. But so we're going to kick it off, and Coach already said it. There's something we're going to do that has to do with that rubber band in just a little bit. But Coach, I love the word. It definitely affects me. I think about complain, the definitions: express dissatisfaction or annoyance about something. Something is getting on our nerves, and somebody once told me, and I'm really talking to myself hard today, but somebody once told me, if you go through the day looking for things to find to complain about, we're going to find them every single day. Every single day. We can also go through the days looking at things that are blessings, and we're going to find those blessings all around us. But it's perspective. It's how you go through your day. And I'm throwing myself under the bus because there's a lot of days I go through my days complaining. And right now, just being honest, this word right here is really something for me to focus around because, there's so much going on in our world today that throws us into a complaining mindset. Whether you're a CNN watcher or Fox News, or you get on Facebook and you see all the debates going on, or you're listening to the radio shows or people I'm even associated with, people I hang around, complain. And before I know it, it starts to saturate my mind, right? And I think right now, I've had a lot of that going on in my personal life, just with looking at whether it's stock market or news, or wanting to find out about the COVID and where it's at and what's going on. And before you know it, you're sucked into a mental saturation of complaints. How many of you feel that? Does that make sense? I know it does for me. So when I looked at that word, I went, how can we guard ourselves about complaining? But before that, I want to say this, coaching background, coaching moment. And I didn't write this down, but Coach Meyer, I thought about this and I thought, when I was a coach, you're always got your eyes out there. You're always looking. And Coach Johns, you can relate to this, like bad technique, right? I'd be in a game, I'd see a bad technique happen on the field. And it's very easy as a coach to go behind the scenes and complain about that to the rest of your staff, but not take an action approach to doing something about that thing that you're complaining about. Does that make sense? Like, so Adam, and I'm looking at Adam right now, and I'm sure TNT, they've never had any problems at TNT Fireworks, but it's kind of like an employee. Like, I see it as that. Like, if I've got people that work for me, they might do things that really get on my nerves. And I could sit around and I could talk about them to other people, and it's just going to manifest. It's going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. Or I could address it and take action around it with that person, and we could be on a road to so much better of a place if I'll just be active on what it is that is a dissatisfaction or an annoyance in my life. Does that make sense? So these 6 steps I was looking at today, you know, how can we guard ourselves? Because we're just going to have things in life to where, you know, whether it's a commute to work that was bad, whether it was an unproductive meeting, you know, one of our team members missed a deadline. There's just going to be things in our life that it's going to be an annoyance to us. But how can I guard myself? Well, 6 steps around that. And if you really think about it, if you're writing it down, first of all, number 1, define what a complaint really is. Before you take a step, analyze the complaint, right? Actually take some time. There is annoyance to you at that point in time. Give it some thought, some deep thought, instead of just being out there just spewing it out of my mouth. Number 2, monitor and track your complaints. What's triggering the complaint? Like, what's happening to trigger it? Number 3, which was to me the best step, it's the rubber band technique. If you're at a place right now, and I'm going to do this, and personally, as soon as we get off this, I'm going to apply this because I need to guard myself from complaining right now. Put a rubber band around your wrist. And every time you spew out a complaint, every time you spew out something negative, reach back and pop it. And you go, come on now. But listen, there is proof, there's science behind this, that it serves as a physical and mental reminder that there's a consequence around a complaint. So I'm going to do this because I really need it right now. There's a lot of things happening around me with things that's going on in our world that it's easy for me to want to complain about. So I'm going to guard myself with the rubber band technique. I think that's, you know, that was something I found that I got to share that this morning. And then we talk about it all the time. Remove yourself from negative situations and toxic people. That's a huge one. That's number 4. Number 5, turn complaints into actions. And we were just talking about that a minute ago. Like, take a action approach towards what's an annoyance to you. And then number 6 is look for the solution. Look for positive things within that troubled result, okay? Because we're just going to have them. So find the positives. There's positives around what can I do about that thing that's annoying me so bad? So, Coach, this was good for me today. It was a little wordy, I know, but where we're living at in today's world with everything going on around us, news media, all that, so easy to get caught up in complaining. So I want to make sure I guard myself from that. I'll turn it to you.
All right. Thanks, Coach. I love the rubber band thing. I use that all the time. So when I saw you had that on your notes this morning when we changed notes, I was like, okay, this is cool. Somebody else in the world has heard of this. So how can we learn to complain less? You know, we should consider the importance of adopting the change. You know, we have to consider ways to change. Most of the time, we complain because we've never considered the alternative. We never consider that there may be a better way. Shouldn't we want to give life instead of drain life? I mean, isn't that a simple statement? You know, we need to embrace and recognize that we are in an imperfect world. There's nothing perfect. We are in an imperfect world. The sooner we start holding out for a world that evolves around us, the sooner we embrace the fact that our contribution is far more needed than our pleasure. Discomfort shouldn't surprise any of us. Listen, we as individuals are not the only ones that experience discomfort. Avoid starting conversations with a complaint. How many of us do that? I have. We all have. Try spreading cheer when you're fixing to complain or you have a complaint and you've just got to talk about it to somebody, try starting that conversation with some cheer in the opening line. You know, another thing we need to do, another point is we need to refuse to complain for the sake of validation. I had never thought about that. Again, here's where I'm guilty. Somebody will call me and, well, Myra, how's it going? Oh my God, I am so busy. What am I trying to do? Am I trying to get some praise from somebody? I just want somebody to know. You see where I'm coming from? We should never, ever complain to validate ourselves and what our worth, in our mind, what our worth is to others. When we say, I'm so busy, we sometimes appear to be saying, I'm real important. So think about that. Never seek to impress others with those kind of complaints. You know, another one that I think is really important, and this is hard to do, you need to notice, we all need to notice what our triggers are. You know, do I complain more in the morning? Does it happen in the afternoon? Is it at night? Is it at lunch? Or is it around some kind of water cooler in the break room or wherever I'm at work? Is that where it happens? We need to try to figure that out and then try to avoid it. You know, enhance the idea of experimentation. And that's where Coach Palmer where I had put in, you know, share the rubber band example. You know, it's so easy when you're sitting around with a group. If you had that rubber band around your wrist and we're talking about something, every time it comes out of your mouth or every time that thought hits your head, pull that rubber band and pop it, because it will snap you into reality really quick. I used that situation with a coach I had one time, and he was that guy that stayed right on the edge of, you know, his philosophy was, what's the worst they're going to say? No. Well, I told him, I said, I want you to get this rubber band around your wrist, and every time you complain about something, I want you to pull it and pop it. He came back in my office about 3 hours later, and he about whelped up a blister on that wrist. He'd done complained to so many people about every single thing. So I'm telling you, and this was a guy that I was surprised did it. So it works. You know, my final thoughts this morning are, complaining serves little purpose in our lives. You know, it spreads negativity and it instantly sparks conflict. Embrace the positive instead of complaining. It's that simple. Again, that is a difficult thing for us to do. It's probably one of the most difficult things that we have to do is quit complaining. Instead of me looking out my window right now and I see it's raining and man, my plants are shot, I need to be saying, thank you, Lord, for this rain. I'm not going to have to get out and water my plants today. So anyway, y'all have a great day.
Thank you so much, Coach. Thank you so much. And this word was a great word. And thanks for always pouring into us. And thank you for joining us this morning. We'll see you tomorrow morning back here. And hopefully technology will be a lot better. But have a great, great Wednesday. We love you so much.
Hey, I want to hear about the rubber band process in the morning. See if you used it and if you went all day without complaining.